Last night, Jaylen Brown won MVP, getting 7 votes to Jason Tatum's 4 votes. So, Paul, was this the right choice?
Yeah, I think this was the right call, Skip. I said this was Jaylen Brown's MVP to lose, and he did everything necessary that I want to see on both ends of the court. Now, Jason Tatum, he played well. I mean, numbers should suggest it could have went either way when you just look at the numbers. But overall, I just think that Jaylen's impact, the way he guarded Luka, made him work, and it started from game one. You saw the defensive impact that he was having. And you can say the same for Jason Tatum, too. But I just think, you know, all that Jaylen's been through, missing all NBA, not getting the recognition he needs, I think this is bittersweet for him right now. You know, I mean, what a year for Jaylen Brown. I'm so happy for him. And this was rightfully so. I mean, Luka shoots 3 for 24 in the last 3 games from 3. I think, you know, Jaylen had a lot to do that. He was in his head. I think he's been underrated on the defensive end. I mean, this guy did not make no all-defensive teams. He didn't make no all-NBA teams. And so I really think he went into this championship series or just the playoffs in general with a chip on his shoulder. I mean, it could have been a boulder because you could hear it in his interviews, just how he talked, like, you know, if you're not rocking with me, then, you know, stay over there. So in my moment, this is the best. By him winning, this is the best kiss my ass moment that he can have.
Yep.
Seriously.
True.
Like, seriously. He's saying this to everybody who didn't vote for him and all defensive, all NBA. Well, look now. Look at him now. So this was rightfully so, and I'm happy for him.
And the crazy thing about it is this basically is the same way he played all year long. So for not to be added on to any of those teams is kind of like bizarre. It's kind of crazy. Look, he got 7 of the 11 votes. Tatum got 4 of the 11 votes. Okay, that's, you know, that's close from a voting standpoint. Mm-hmm. When you look at the numbers in the finals, the numbers basically are the same, man. They really are. I mean, you know, yeah, he out rebounding by slightly, edge by 2, assists slightly by 3. But overall, I think Jaylen Brown had more of a splash moments early. It was splash moments early. So those splash moments early stayed in the minds of the voters, and he never really tailed off to the point of disappointment, except the bad game that all of them had as a team in Game 4.
Yeah.
Although I looked up and Drew Holiday was 3 or 4 in the first quarter. I'm like, wait a minute. I know Drew Holiday is getting ready to try to steal this. and so, you know, that's really the only little jolt in my mind when I saw Drew 6, 3 or 4. I'm like, he ain't getting ready to go on this run. I know. Tatum had a really good game. But even some of his stuff in the end it was almost like Jaylen, because of the defensive side and the splash play, stayed in my mind. His dunks were powerful, whether they were lobs or whatever, or he created them on his own. Those moments stayed there. Plus, I think there was a little bit of, we got it wrong there too. So we're going to give him a little bit of benefit of the doubt because we already got it wrong in the regular season by not adding him on to any other postseason accolades. So, okay, but here's what I would say about Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum doesn't have to worry about an MVP because eventually he's going to get one.
Regular or finals?
Both.
Yeah.
I believe he'll get both. I believe he'll eventually get both because he's too good of a player. Like, he's really good, man. Dude is really good. When he puts his mind to it, I'm like, okay, he goes to the cup a couple times last night, as you saw, Paul. He was strong to the back. Like, he just did things differently than he did earlier in the series, Skip. So Jaylen deserved it, rightfully so. But Tatum will get an MVP again because the Celtics, with this team, they should win another championship with this.
I would say
with those two guys. Multiple, but I'd just say another one, and he'll get his final MVP. So there's nothing to be, like, mad about.
Because he missed about, like, 4 or 5 layups.
Step back threes. This is Jason Tatum in the fourth quarter of a blowout.
Well, it ain't really.
That's all right.
It's a blowout.
That's all right.
Are you serious?
I'm taking advantage of it.
Okay, but
you don't think you think he
that's
was
a
trying?
drive
You
for
think
the-
he was trying to steal the MVP?
Absolutely.
You think you just said
he's going to leave it in the voters' minds? Look what I just did in the fourth quarter.
He went ham in a blowout to try to convince the voters that he deserved the MVP.
That's exactly what he went.
You don't think the voters are smart enough to realize?
The problem is the votes are being taken mid-fourth quarter. That's because it's a blowout, and they're just making sure they get the votes
So
in.
you don't think he's smart enough and the voters are smart enough that he would go and do something like that thinking that he would? No, Skip.
What's the last impression you leave in people's minds? Okay, so I'm looking at Jaylen Brown's last two games of the finals, Game 4 and Game 5. And in Game 4, nobody, as you said, played very well, but he was 3 out of 12. But in Game 5, he was 7 of 23 and 2 of 9 from 3. In Game 4, he was 1 of 5 from 3. So he finishes out the finals going 3 for 14 from 3. I mean, it's almost like Luka bad from 3 for Jaylen Brown. And yet he won the MVP.
But when I look at Luka's numbers.
Okay, but this isn't about Luka.
Well,
I mean,
it is about Luka because I'm talking about.
They got gentlemen swept. So.
Yeah, it is about Luka in a way because Jaylen Brown guarded him.
Yeah.
So when I look and say Luka shot 3 for 24 from 3.
No, I've given you that.
Jaylen Brown has a lot to do with that. That's the impression that was left with me. I'm seeing him picking him up full court.
So Jaylen Brown affected the game in other ways that Luka could not affect the game.
Absolutely. And then Luka, 7 turnovers.
Yeah.
I think
that was last night.
Yeah, but Brown has something to do with that.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? With the ball pressure. So you got to factor in all those things right there. And if I'm not mistaken, Luka Luka, he's such a talent. You'll look, if you didn't watch the game.
Y'all keep saying he's such a talent.
No, look, he had 28 and 12.
It moved me because they did deserve it. They won it, and they won the season. It was their year. It was their time. It was Jaylen's time to break through. I was happy he got the award. We'll talk more about it in a few minutes. But all those guys are good guys. There's not one guy on that team I don't like. There's not one bad actor. There's not a villain. There's not a like you did have Marcus Smart, who played with edge, and he was always getting into it with people, but Brad Stevens said, you know what? I'm going to replace him with Drew Holiday. And Drew Holiday was the magic move, man.
I said that.
You did. I said it. Keyshawn said it.
Yeah.
Okay. And so what did I see at the start of the game last night? Your first 6 points were scored by Drew Holiday. He just came to play because he gets it. And you got it yesterday. I was saying the same thing. The crucial moments of this game were the immediate moments after tip-off, because it was up to the Mavericks to show the Celtics we are serious about this. We are going to apply pressure to your throats right away. We are going to make you sweat. We're going to make you fret. We're going to make you doubt. We're going to make you a little shaky-handed from 3 because we are here and we ain't going away. And guess what?
They had a shot early.
Okay, they had a shot early. And by the way, Luka had a 3 early.
It was up by 1, right?
Well, Tatum and Brown
they never got up. They never were up. They didn't lead the whole night.
No, they closed it to 1.
Yeah, they closed it to 1.
Tatum and Brown struggled in the first
3. If this goes in, I'm thinking I got a chance, and it lipped out. Okay, it lipped out. That would have given them their only lead of the whole night.
Good deep
okay.
ball.
So then Drew Holiday goes bang, bang, and bang, and scores 3 quick buckets, and then Al Horford, at age 37, finally got himself a ring. He knocks it down. If we have the Al Horford 3, and it makes it 9-2.
Yep.
We have this.
Once they got out 9-2, I was no looking back.
Al Horford. When he
right here,
struck
wide open.
this, I said, kaboom. I turned to my wife, Ernestine, and I said, this is over. And I immediately tweeted, start the parade. Because that's it. That's the only chance Dallas had to show them they were serious about this, serious business. And from that point on, they kind of scratched and clawed and got back into it. And then you guys flurry at the end of the first quarter and go up 10 after quarter, and it is way, way over. And then your little man, Pritchard, pulls one out of his tail again at the end of the half and bombs away, and that's it. That's if there's ever such a thing as a halftime dagger, that's it.
That's the second time in this series.
And he traveled.
Look, man, I don't want to hear all that. I don't want to hear all that.
No, Paul, he ran with the ball.
There ain't no travel.
But they ain't going to call it, I know.
They're not going to call it.
I was like, oh, my God.
Bop, bop.
That hurt.
Ooh,
oh, that hurt.
21, that was the dagger
That
right
hurt.
there. Ooh. Man.
God,
Okay,
Bars
so
was filled.
here's what I
Drinks was
saw
flowing.
overall in this series. I keep